Welcome to Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to remain calm and composed no matter how chaotic life gets? What if I told you that their secret isn't about being emotionless but about mastering the art of not reacting impulsively? This audiobook explores the transformative power of pausing before reacting, a skill that can help you navigate life's challenges with grace, build stronger relationships, and create a life filled with peace and purpose. Introduction. The audiobook, The Power of Not Reacting, is written and published by Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever been caught in the grip of a heated moment, only to regret your words or actions later? Do you sometimes feel like your reactions sabotage your relationships, career, or personal growth? What if you could learn to stay calm under pressure, respond thoughtfully, and take control of your emotional well-being? In today's fast-paced world, reacting impulsively is all too common. But here's the truth, you have the power to change that. Every situation presents a choice, to react on autopilot or to pause and respond with intention. This simple yet profound shift can transform how you navigate life's challenges, connect with others, and build lasting peace and success. In this audiobook, we'll explore practical tools and strategies to help you master this skill. You'll discover why we react the way we do, how to create space between stimulus and response, and how to turn even the toughest moments into opportunities for growth. By the end of this journey, you'll be equipped to handle stress, conflict, and uncertainty with clarity and confidence. Let's dive in and unlock your potential to live with greater calm, purpose, and resilience. So, are you ready to take the first step toward becoming the best version of yourself? Your journey starts now. Chapter 1. Understanding emotional reactions. Why do we react? In this chapter, we're going to dive deep into the roots of emotional reactions. Why do we react the way we do? What's happening inside our brains when emotions take over? And most importantly, how can understanding these mechanisms help us gain control over our responses? Before we proceed, let me share a simple truth. Reacting is natural. It's part of being human. But reacting without thought can lead to consequences that harm us and those around us. As the renowned psychologist Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Today, we'll uncover the unconscious patterns behind our reactions so that we can rewrite our emotional scripts. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clear understanding of why we react emotionally, what triggers these reactions, and the impact they have on our lives. Let's begin. 1.1. The brain's role in processing emotions. To truly master the art of not reacting, we must first understand the science behind our emotions. Our brain plays a central role in how we process feelings and decide whether to react or pause. Let's break this down step by step. The amygdala, the emotional gatekeeper. Deep within your brain lies a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. This tiny powerhouse is responsible for detecting threats and triggering emotional responses. When you encounter something stressful, a harsh comment from a colleague, an unexpected bill, or even a sudden loud noise, your amygdala springs into action. It sends signals throughout your body, preparing you for fight or flight. This reaction was incredibly useful thousands of years ago when humans faced physical dangers like predators. However, in modern times, the same mechanism often misfires. For example, receiving criticism at work might activate your amygdala as if your life were in danger. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and before you know it, you've snapped back with an angry reply. But here's the catch. While the amygdala acts quickly, another part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, is designed to think critically and regulate emotions. Unfortunately, the prefrontal cortex operates more slowly than the amygdala. By the time logic kicks in, you may already be halfway through a regrettable outburst. As Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, explains, the amygdala is the seat of all passion, while the prefrontal cortex is the seat of reason. The challenge lies in bridging the gap between the two. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward gaining control over your reactions. The prefrontal cortex, the voice of reason. Your prefrontal cortex is like the wise advisor sitting quietly in the background, waiting for its turn to speak. Located just behind your forehead, This region of the brain is responsible for decision-making, problem-solving, and impulse control. When given enough time, it helps you evaluate situations rationally and respond appropriately. For instance, imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your amygdala might scream, "That's unacceptable! Chase them down!" But your prefrontal cortex steps in to remind you, "It's not worth risking an accident over this." The key is giving your prefrontal cortex the chance to intervene before your amygdala takes over completely. One powerful technique to engage your prefrontal cortex is mindfulness. Studies show that practicing mindfulness strengthens the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, allowing you to pause and reflect instead of reacting impulsively. Reaction versus response, a crucial distinction. Now, let's clarify an important concept: the difference between reacting and responding. A reaction is automatic, instinctive, and often driven by raw emotion. It happens without much thought and can escalate conflicts unnecessarily. On the other hand, a response is deliberate, thoughtful, and grounded in logic. Consider this scenario: you receive negative feedback on a project you worked hard on. If you react, you might lash out defensively or shut down emotionally. However, if you choose to respond, you take a moment to process the feedback, identify areas for improvement, and thank the person for their input. As Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, famously wrote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom." Learning to widen that space is the essence of mastering emotional reactions. 1.2. Triggers that spark emotional reactions. Understanding the brain's role in processing emotions is just one piece of the puzzle. To prevent impulsive reactions, we also need to identify what sets them off in the first place. These triggers vary from person to person but generally fall into three main categories: environmental factors, social expectations, and unresolved personal issues. Environmental factors. Our surroundings play a significant role in shaping our emotional state. Noise, clutter, deadlines, and lack of sleep can all increase stress levels, making us more prone to react negatively. For example, working in a chaotic office environment with constant interruptions can leave you feeling irritable and short-tempered. Research shows that chronic exposure to stressful environments can weaken the brain's ability to regulate emotions effectively. This means that if you're constantly surrounded by chaos, your amygdala becomes hyperactive, and your prefrontal cortex struggles to keep up. A practical solution is to create a calming environment whenever possible. Simple changes like decluttering your workspace, incorporating plants, or taking regular breaks can significantly reduce stress and improve emotional resilience. Social expectations. Another common trigger comes from societal pressures. We live in a world where success is often measured by external achievements, promotions, wealth, appearance, and social status. When we feel we're falling short of these expectations, it's easy to become frustrated, anxious, or envious. Take social media, for instance. Scrolling through perfectly curated feeds can evoke feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Seeing others achieve milestones, whether it's buying a house, landing a dream job, or traveling the world, can trigger envy or resentment. The antidote to this is cultivating self-awareness and focusing on intrinsic values rather than external validation. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Am I living authentically, or am I chasing someone else's definition of success? Unresolved personal issues. Finally, unresolved personal traumas or insecurities can act as hidden triggers. Perhaps you grew up in a household where expressing anger was taboo, leading you to suppress your emotions until they explode uncontrollably. Or maybe past failures haunt you, causing fear of rejection or criticism. Addressing these underlying issues requires courage and vulnerability. Therapy, journaling, or talking to trusted friends can help you unpack emotional baggage and heal old wounds. Remember, healing isn't linear, it's a journey. Be patient with yourself along the way. 1.3. The consequences of reacting without thought. Now that we've explored the triggers behind emotional reactions, let's examine their consequences. While reacting impulsively might provide temporary relief, venting anger, asserting dominance, or avoiding discomfort, it often leads to long-term damage. These consequences manifest in three key areas: relationships, mental health, and personal growth. Impact on relationships. One of the most immediate and visible effects of impulsive reactions is strained relationships. Whether it's a heated argument with your partner, a sarcastic comment to a colleague, or snapping at a family member, unchecked emotions can erode trust and connection. Consider this example. Sarah, a marketing executive, was under immense pressure to meet a tight deadline. When her assistant made a minor typo in an email campaign, Sarah exploded, calling him incompetent in front of the team. Though she later apologized, the damage was done. Her assistant felt humiliated and disrespected, leading to a decline in his confidence and performance. Over time, their working relationship became tense and unproductive. As Maya Angelou wisely said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel." Our words and actions during moments of heightened emotion leave lasting impressions. A single thoughtless reaction can undo months, or even years, of goodwill. To prevent such outcomes, practice empathy before responding. Ask yourself, how would I feel if someone spoke to me this way? What tone or language would help resolve the situation rather than escalate it? Mental health implications. Reacting impulsively doesn't just harm others, it also takes a toll on your own mental well-being. Chronic stress, anxiety, and depression are often linked to unresolved emotional reactions. When you lash out in anger or suppress your feelings repeatedly, you create internal turmoil that festers over time. For instance, John, a college student, frequently reacted defensively whenever his friends offered constructive feedback about his behavior. Instead of listening, he dismissed their concerns and distanced himself. Over time, John began feeling isolated and anxious, unsure why his friendships were deteriorating. It wasn't until he sought counseling that he realized his defensive reactions had pushed people away. The lesson here is clear: suppressing or mismanaging emotions doesn't make them disappear. They resurface in unhealthy ways, affecting both your mood and your ability to connect with others. Developing healthier coping mechanisms, such as journaling, meditation, or talking to a therapist, can help you process emotions constructively. Stunting personal growth. Finally, impulsive reactions hinder personal growth by reinforcing negative patterns. Each time you react without thinking, you reinforce neural pathways associated with that behavior. Over time, these pathways become ingrained habits that are difficult to break. Take Lisa, for example. She had a habit of quitting projects whenever things got tough. Whether it was learning a new skill, pursuing a passion project, or starting a fitness routine, Lisa would abandon ship at the first sign of difficulty. Her knee-jerk reaction to challenges prevented her from building resilience and achieving her goals. As Tony Robbins, motivational speaker and life coach, once said, "The only thing standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself." By choosing to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, you rewrite your story and open doors to new possibilities. 1.4. Real-life story, from chaos to calm. Let me share a powerful story that illustrates the transformative impact of mastering emotional reactions. This is the true account of Michael, a high-powered attorney whose life changed dramatically after learning to pause before reacting. Michael was known for his sharp intellect and relentless drive. However, he was also infamous for his explosive temper. During meetings, he'd interrupt colleagues mid-sentence, dismiss opposing viewpoints outright, and storm out of rooms when frustrated. His behavior earned him respect for his legal acumen, but alienated him from peers and subordinates alike. Things came to a head when Michael lost a major case due to poor teamwork. Reflecting on the failure, he realized his inability to manage emotions had sabotaged collaboration. Determined to change, Michael enrolled in a mindfulness program and began practicing techniques like deep breathing and reflective listening. At first, progress was slow. Old habits die hard, and Michael found himself slipping back into reactive mode occasionally. But with persistence, he started noticing subtle shifts. He learned to listen more attentively, ask clarifying questions, and acknowledge others' contributions. Slowly but surely, his relationships improved, and so did his professional success. Today, Michael attributes much of his achievements to the simple yet profound practice of pausing before reacting. His journey serves as a reminder that no matter where you start, transformation is always possible. 1.5. Practical strategies to understand your reactions better. Now that we've covered the science, triggers, and consequences of emotional reactions, let's discuss actionable strategies to deepen your understanding and gain control. 1. Keep an emotional journal. One of the most effective ways to understand your reactions is through journaling. Set aside 5 minutes each day to write about situations that triggered strong emotions. Include details like, what happened? How did you feel physically and emotionally? What thoughts ran through your mind? How did you react, and what were the consequences? Over time, patterns will emerge, helping you identify recurring triggers and responses. Armed with this awareness, you can begin addressing underlying issues. 2. Practice the pause and breathe technique. When faced with a triggering situation, try this simple exercise. 1. Pause for 3 seconds before saying or doing anything. 2. Take 3 deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of air entering and leaving your lungs. 3. Ask yourself, will my initial reaction serve me or harm me in the long run? This technique creates space between stimulus and response, allowing your prefrontal cortex to engage. 3. Reframe negative thoughts. Our reactions are often fueled by distorted thinking patterns, such as catastrophizing. This is a disaster, or black and white thinking. If I fail, I'm worthless. Challenge these thoughts by asking, is this really true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? How can I view this situation differently? For example, instead of thinking, my boss hates me because she criticized my work, reframe it as, my boss wants me to improve and succeed. Shifting your perspective reduces emotional intensity and promotes rational responses. 4. Seek feedback from trusted individuals. Sometimes, we're blind to our own reactive tendencies. Asking trusted friends, family members, or mentors for honest feedback can shed light on areas for improvement. Be open to their observations and use them as opportunities for growth. 1.6. The neuroscience of emotional regulation, a deeper dive. To truly grasp the power of not reacting, we must delve deeper into the neuroscience behind emotional regulation. Understanding how our brain processes emotions can empower us to take control of our reactions in a more informed and intentional way. The role of neurotransmitters. Emotions are not just abstract feelings, they are biochemical processes driven by neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and cortisol. Serotonin, often referred to as the feel-good chemical, helps regulate mood and promotes a sense of well-being. Dopamine, on the other hand, is associated with reward and motivation, while cortisol is released during stress. When you react impulsively, your brain floods with cortisol, preparing your body for fight or flight. This hormonal surge can cloud your judgment and amplify negative emotions. Over time, chronic exposure to high cortisol levels can lead to anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues like heart disease. By contrast, when you pause and engage your prefrontal cortex, you activate pathways that release serotonin and dopamine, promoting calmness and clarity. This is why mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing, are so effective. They help balance your brain chemistry, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. As neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza explains, your thoughts and emotions shape your biology. By changing the way you think and feel, you can literally rewire your brain. This concept, known as neuroplasticity, underscores the importance of practicing emotional regulation consistently. The default mode network, DMN. Another fascinating aspect of brain science is the default mode network, DMN, which becomes active when your mind wanders or ruminates. The DMN is responsible for self-referential thinking, those moments when you replay past events, worry about the future, or dwell on negative thoughts. When triggered by emotional reactions, the DMN can spiral into overdrive, amplifying feelings of anger, guilt, or fear. For example, After snapping at a loved one, you might replay the incident repeatedly in your mind, magnifying your regret and frustration. To counteract this, mindfulness techniques help deactivate the DMN and activate the task positive network, TPN, which focuses on present moment awareness. By grounding yourself in the here and now, you can break free from the cycle of rumination and regain control over your emotions. 1.7. The ripple effect of emotional reactions. Every reaction you have sends ripples through your life and the lives of those around you. These ripples can either create harmony or chaos, depending on how you choose to respond. Let's explore this idea further. Impact on family dynamics. In family settings, emotional reactions can have profound consequences. Consider a parent who reacts angrily to their child's misbehavior. While the intention may be to correct the behavior, the reaction often leads to fear, resentment, or rebellion. Over time, this dynamic erodes trust and communication within the family unit. On the other hand, responding with patience and understanding fosters a nurturing environment where children feel safe to express themselves. As psychologist Dr. Shefali Saboui writes in The Conscious Parent, "Children don't need us to be perfect, they need us to be present." Being present means managing your emotions and choosing responses that align with your values. Impact on professional relationships. In the workplace, emotional reactions can make or break careers. Leaders who react impulsively risk losing credibility and respect. Employees who lash out under pressure may damage their reputation and hinder career advancement. Take the example of Mark, a project manager who reacted defensively during a team meeting when his strategy was questioned. Instead of addressing the concerns constructively, he dismissed them outright, creating tension among team members. The result? Morale plummeted, collaboration suffered, and the project fell behind schedule. Conversely, leaders who respond thoughtfully inspire loyalty and trust. They listen actively, acknowledge differing perspectives, and seek solutions collaboratively. As Simon Sinek, author of Leaders Eat Last, emphasizes, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Impact on society. On a broader scale, emotional reactions influence societal dynamics. Social media platforms, for instance, are breeding grounds for impulsive reactions. A single inflammatory post can spark outrage, division, and even violence. Consider the story of Malala Yousafzai, who chose nonviolent resistance in response to oppression. Her calm and steadfast approach inspired millions worldwide, proving that thoughtful responses can drive meaningful change. As Mahatma Gandhi famously said, "An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind." By choosing not to react impulsively, we contribute to a culture of empathy, understanding, and peace. 1.8. Advanced techniques for managing emotional reactions. Now that we've explored the science and impact of emotional reactions, let's dive into advanced techniques to manage them effectively. These strategies go beyond basic mindfulness and offer practical tools for real-life situations. 1. Cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing involves shifting your perspective on a situation to reduce its emotional intensity. For example, instead of viewing criticism as an attack, see it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this feedback? How can I use it to improve? This technique is rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which has been proven to help individuals manage anxiety, depression, and stress. By challenging distorted thoughts and replacing them with balanced ones, you gain greater emotional resilience. 2. Visualization exercises. Visualization is a powerful tool for regulating emotions. Before entering a potentially triggering situation, such as a difficult conversation or a high-stakes presentation, take a moment to visualize yourself staying calm and composed. Imagine handling the situation with grace and confidence. Research shows that visualization activates the same neural pathways as actual experience, priming your brain for success. Athletes, performers, and public speakers frequently use this technique to enhance performance and manage nerves. 3. Emotional labeling. Labeling your emotions can significantly reduce their intensity. When you name what you're feeling, whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration, you activate the prefrontal cortex and deactivate the amygdala. For example, if you're upset about a missed deadline, say to yourself, "I'm feeling frustrated because I didn't meet my goal." Simply acknowledging the emotion diminishes its power over you. 4. Building emotional resilience through gratitude. Gratitude is a potent antidote to negativity. By focusing on what you're thankful for, you shift your attention away from reactive emotions and toward positivity. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice the good in every situation. As Melody Beattie, author of The Language of Letting Go, puts it, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough, and more." Cultivating gratitude not only reduces stress but also strengthens relationships and enhances overall well-being. 1.9. A second real-life story, turning pain into purpose. Let me share another inspiring story that highlights the transformative power of mastering emotional reactions. This is the true account of Emma, a young entrepreneur whose life changed forever after learning to channel her emotions constructively. Emma grew up in a household plagued by conflict. Her parents' constant arguments left her feeling insecure and hypersensitive to criticism. As an adult, she carried these unresolved emotions into her professional life, reacting defensively whenever challenged. Her turning point came during a business pitch. After receiving harsh feedback from investors, Emma broke down in tears and stormed out of the room. Humiliated and defeated, she realized she needed help. Determined to change, Emma sought therapy and began practicing emotional regulation techniques. She learned to identify her triggers, reframe negative thoughts, and respond with grace under pressure. Slowly but surely, her confidence grew, and so did her business. Today, Emma attributes her success to the lessons she learned during that pivotal moment. She now mentors aspiring entrepreneurs, teaching them the importance of emotional intelligence and resilience. 1.10. Final reflections and action steps. As we conclude this chapter, I want to leave you with a few final reflections and action steps to carry forward. 1. Awareness is key. Start paying attention to your emotional reactions. Notice what triggers them and how they affect your thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. 2. Practice pausing. Commit to pausing before reacting, even if it's just for 3 seconds. Use this time to breathe deeply and assess the situation objectively. 3. Seek growth opportunities. View challenges as opportunities to strengthen your emotional resilience. Every difficult moment is a chance to practice mastery over your reactions. 4. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge and celebrate small victories along the way. Transformation takes time, and every step counts. Remember, mastering the art of not reacting is a lifelong journey. Be patient with yourself, stay committed to growth, and trust that the effort will pay off in ways you never imagined. Conclusion of Chapter 1. In this chapter, we've explored the intricate workings of the brain, identified common triggers for emotional reactions, examined their consequences, and discussed practical strategies to manage them. Remember, understanding why we react is the foundation for mastering the art of not reacting. As you move forward, carry these insights with you. Begin observing your reactions in daily life, not to judge yourself harshly but to learn and grow. In the next chapter, we'll delve deeper into the power of pausing and how this simple act can transform your emotional landscape. Until then, take a moment to reflect. What's one small step you can take today to become more aware of your reactions? Start there, and watch how your world begins to shift. Chapter 2. The Power of Pause, the Art of Stopping Before Reacting. In this chapter, we'll explore one of the most transformative skills you can develop, the power of pause. Pausing before reacting may seem simple, but its impact is profound. It creates a space, a moment of clarity, where you can choose how to respond rather than being swept away by emotions. As we delve into this topic, remember that pausing isn't about suppressing your feelings or avoiding conflict. Instead, it's about giving yourself the gift of time to process, reflect, and act with intention. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand why pausing is so powerful, how to practice it effectively, and how it can transform your relationships, decisions, and overall well-being. 2.1. The Importance of Pausing, why stopping matters. In our fast-paced world, we're conditioned to react quickly, to answer emails immediately, respond to texts within seconds, and make snap judgments in conversations. While speed may feel efficient, it often comes at a cost. When we rush to react, we bypass the thoughtful part of our brain, leaving us vulnerable to mistakes, misunderstandings, and regrettable actions. The science behind the pause. Pausing activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. When you take a moment to stop, you allow this region to catch up with your amygdala, which is responsible for triggering emotional reactions. Research shows that even a brief pause, just 3 to 5 seconds, can significantly reduce impulsive behavior. A study published in the journal Psychological Science found that individuals who took a short pause before making decisions were more likely to choose wisely and avoid knee-jerk reactions. The ripple effect of pausing. Pausing doesn't just benefit you, it positively impacts those around you as well. When you pause before speaking or acting, you model calmness and self-control. This sets the tone for interactions, encouraging others to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Consider this example. During a heated team meeting, Sarah noticed her colleague John becoming visibly frustrated. Instead of escalating the tension, Sarah paused, took a deep breath, and said, "I hear your concerns, John. Let's work together to find a solution." Her calm response diffused the situation and opened the door for productive dialogue. As author and mindfulness expert John Kabat-Zinn writes, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." Pausing is like learning to surf. It gives you the tools to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. 2.2. Practical methods for practicing the pause. Now that we've established why pausing is important, let's discuss how to practice it effectively. Below are several techniques you can incorporate into your daily life to cultivate the habit of pausing. 1. The 3-second rule. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to practice pausing is the 3-second rule. Whenever you feel triggered, whether by anger, frustration, or anxiety, pause for 3 seconds before responding. Use this time to take a deep breath and assess the situation objectively. For example, imagine you're in a conversation with a friend who says something hurtful. Instead of snapping back immediately, count silently to 3. This brief pause allows your prefrontal cortex to engage, helping you respond with empathy rather than defensiveness. 2. Deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing is a powerful tool for calming the nervous system and creating space between stimulus and response. Here's a simple exercise you can try. 1. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. 2. Hold your breath for a count of 4. 3. Exhale gently through your mouth for a count of 6. 4. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. This technique lowers cortisol levels, reduces stress, and clears mental fog, enabling you to think more clearly. 3. The stop technique. The stop technique is a mindfulness practice designed to help you pause and regain control in challenging moments. Here's how it works. S. Stop what you're doing. T. Take a deep breath. O. Observe your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations. P. Proceed with intention. For instance, if you're about to send an angry email, use the stop technique to pause and reconsider. Ask yourself, will this message serve my goals, or will it escalate the situation? 4. Physical anchors. Sometimes, using a physical anchor can help reinforce the habit of pausing. For example, wearing a bracelet or keeping a small object in your pocket serves as a reminder to pause when emotions run high. Each time you feel triggered, touch the anchor and take a moment to breathe deeply. 2.3. Real-life story. How pausing saved a marriage. To illustrate the transformative power of pausing, let me share the story of Lisa and David, a couple on the brink of divorce. Lisa and David had been married for 10 years, but their relationship was strained by constant arguments. Every disagreement escalated into shouting matches, leaving both feeling hurt and unheard. One day, during a particularly heated fight, Lisa decided to try something different. She excused herself, went to another room, and practiced deep breathing for 5 minutes. When she returned, she approached David calmly and said, "I realize I reacted too strongly earlier. Can we talk about this without blaming each other?" Her willingness to pause and reflect broke the cycle of conflict, paving the way for healthier communication. Over time, both Lisa and David adopted the habit of pausing during disagreements. They learned to listen actively, validate each other's feelings, and collaborate on solutions. Today, their marriage is stronger than ever, thanks to the simple yet profound practice of pausing. As Lisa reflects, "Pausing didn't just save our marriage, it transformed it. We stopped reacting out of fear and started responding out of love." 2.4. The role of mindfulness in mastering the pause. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in mastering the art of pausing. At its core, mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, you become more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, allowing you to recognize triggers and respond skillfully. Mindfulness meditation. One of the most effective ways to develop mindfulness is through meditation. Start with just 5 minutes a day, focusing on your breath or a mantra like calm or peace. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Over time, mindfulness meditation strengthens the connection between your amygdala and prefrontal cortex, enhancing your ability to regulate emotions. Studies show that regular meditation practitioners experience reduced stress, improved focus, and greater emotional resilience. Mindful listening. Another aspect of mindfulness is mindful listening, paying full attention to the person speaking without interrupting or planning your response. This not only improves communication but also fosters deeper connections. For example, imagine you're having a conversation with a colleague who's sharing a concern. Instead of jumping in with advice, listen attentively and acknowledge their feelings. You might say, "I hear that this is really important to you. Tell me more." This approach validates their experience and builds trust. As Thich Nhat Hanh, renowned Zen master, once said, "Listening is an art form. To listen means to be fully present with the other person." 2.5. Advanced strategies for mastering the pause. While basic techniques like deep breathing and mindfulness are powerful tools, there are advanced strategies you can employ to deepen your mastery of the pause. These methods are designed to help you navigate even the most challenging situations with grace and wisdom. 1. The pause and reflect. Journaling practice. Journaling is an excellent way to process emotions and gain clarity during moments of stress. When you feel triggered, take a few minutes to write down your thoughts and feelings. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? What would a calm, thoughtful response look like? This practice not only helps you release pent-up emotions but also provides valuable insights into recurring patterns and triggers. Over time, you'll notice shifts in how you perceive and respond to challenges. For example, Mark, a high school teacher, used journaling to manage his frustration with disruptive students. Instead of reacting angrily, he paused, wrote about his feelings, and reflected on possible solutions. This approach transformed his classroom dynamic, fostering mutual respect and cooperation. 2. Visualization techniques for emotional regulation. Visualization is another powerful tool for mastering the pause. Before entering a potentially triggering situation, such as a difficult conversation or a high-pressure meeting, visualize yourself staying calm and composed. Imagine handling the situation with grace and confidence. Research shows that visualization activates the same neural pathways as actual experience, priming your brain for success. Athletes, performers, and public speakers frequently use this technique to enhance performance and manage nerves. For instance, imagine you're preparing for a job interview. Close your eyes and picture yourself walking into the room, greeting the interviewer warmly, and answering questions thoughtfully. Visualizing success reduces anxiety and boosts self-assurance, enabling you to perform at your best. 3. The what if exercise. The what if exercise encourages you to consider multiple perspectives before reacting. When faced with a challenging situation, ask yourself, what if I'm missing important information? What if the other person has good intentions? What if there's a solution that benefits everyone involved? This exercise promotes empathy and open-mindedness, helping you approach conflicts constructively. For example, if a coworker criticizes your work, instead of reacting defensively, ask yourself, what if their feedback is meant to help me improve? Shifting your perspective reduces emotional intensity and fosters collaboration. 4. Building a pause toolkit. A pause toolkit is a collection of personalized strategies you can use to regain composure in stressful moments. Your toolkit might include a calming mantra such as, "I am in control of my reactions," a favorite mindfulness app or guided meditation, a playlist of relaxing music, a physical anchor, like a bracelet or keychain, to remind you to pause. Having these resources readily available ensures you're prepared to handle any situation with poise and intention. 2.6. The long-term benefits of pausing. Mastering the art of pausing isn't just about managing immediate reactions, it's about creating lasting change in your life. Below are some of the long-term benefits you can expect from consistently practicing this skill. Improved decision-making. When you pause before making decisions, you give yourself time to weigh options carefully and consider potential consequences. This leads to more thoughtful, informed choices that align with your values and goals. For example, Sarah, a marketing executive, used to rush into campaigns without fully analyzing data or consulting her team. After adopting the habit of pausing, she began taking time to gather insights and brainstorm ideas collaboratively. The result? Her campaigns became more successful, earning praise from clients and colleagues alike. Stronger relationships. Pausing enhances communication by fostering active listening, empathy, and understanding. When you pause before responding, you show others that their thoughts and feelings matter, strengthening trust and connection. Consider the story of James, a father who struggled to connect with his teenage son. Frustrated by arguments over grades and curfews, James decided to pause and reflect before addressing issues. He started asking open-ended questions, validating his son's perspective, and working together to find compromises. Their relationship improved dramatically, becoming a source of joy and support for both. Enhanced emotional resilience. Regularly practicing the pause builds emotional resilience, enabling you to face adversity with courage and calmness. By learning to regulate your emotions, you reduce stress, increase self-awareness, and cultivate inner peace. As psychologist Dr. Rick Hansen explains, taking pauses throughout the day allows your nervous system to reset, promoting balance and well-being. Over time, this practice rewires your brain for greater happiness and fulfillment. 2.7. Real-life story, from chaos to clarity. Let me share one final story to illustrate the transformative power of pausing. This is the true account of Anna, a corporate lawyer whose life changed forever after embracing this practice. Anna was known for her sharp intellect and relentless drive. However, she was also infamous for her impatience and quick temper. During meetings, she'd interrupt colleagues mid-sentence, dismiss opposing viewpoints outright, and storm out of rooms when frustrated. Her behavior earned her respect for her legal acumen but alienated her from peers and subordinates alike. Things came to a head when Anna lost a major case due to poor teamwork. Reflecting on the failure, she realized her inability to manage emotions had sabotaged collaboration. Determined to change, Anna enrolled in a mindfulness program and began practicing techniques like deep breathing and reflective listening. At first, progress was slow. Old habits die hard, and Anna found herself slipping back into reactive mode occasionally. But with persistence, she started noticing subtle shifts. She learned to listen more attentively, ask clarifying questions, and acknowledge others' contributions. Slowly but surely, her relationships improved, and so did her professional success. Today, Anna attributes much of her achievements to the simple yet profound practice of pausing before reacting. Her journey serves as a reminder that no matter where you start, transformation is always possible. 2.8. Final reflections and action steps. As we conclude this chapter, I want to leave you with a few final reflections and action steps to carry forward. 1. Start small. Begin incorporating short pauses into your daily routine. Whether it's taking 3 deep breaths before responding or stepping away from a stressful situation, every small effort counts. 2. Be patient. Mastering the art of pausing takes time and practice. Celebrate small victories along the way and trust that consistent effort will yield results. 3. Reflect regularly. Set aside time each week to reflect on how pausing has impacted your life. Notice improvements in your relationships, decision-making, and emotional well-being. 4. Share your journey. Encourage friends, family, or colleagues to join you in practicing the pause. Sharing experiences and insights strengthens accountability and fosters collective growth. Remember, pausing isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each moment of stillness brings you closer to living a life of intention, connection, and fulfillment. Chapter 3: Mastering Emotional Intelligence. Developing the art of understanding and managing emotions. In this chapter, we'll explore one of the most critical skills for personal and professional success: emotional intelligence, EQ. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It's the foundation for effective communication, strong relationships, and wise decision-making. While IQ measures cognitive abilities, EQ determines how well you navigate life's complexities. Research shows that individuals with high emotional intelligence are more resilient, empathetic, and successful in achieving their goals. By mastering EQ, you can transform the way you interact with the world and create a life filled with purpose and connection. In this chapter, we'll break down the components of emotional intelligence, provide practical strategies for developing it, and share inspiring stories of individuals who have harnessed its power. Let's begin. 3.1. Understanding your own emotions, the first step to mastery. The journey to mastering emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions. Without self-awareness, it's impossible to manage your feelings or respond thoughtfully to others. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness involves paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in real time. It's about understanding what triggers certain emotions and how those emotions influence your actions. For example, if you notice yourself feeling anxious before a presentation, you can acknowledge the emotion and take steps to calm yourself, such as practicing deep breathing or visualizing success. As psychologist Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, explains, self-awareness is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. Without it, we're like ships without rudders, drifting aimlessly through life. How to cultivate self-awareness. Developing self-awareness requires consistent effort and reflection. Below are some techniques to help you deepen your understanding of your emotions. 1. Keep an emotional journal. Start by dedicating 5 minutes each day to write about your emotional experiences. Include details such as: what happened? How did you feel physically and emotionally? What thoughts ran through your mind? How did you react, and what were the consequences? Over time, patterns will emerge, helping you identify recurring triggers and responses. Armed with this awareness, you can begin addressing underlying issues. 2. Practice mindful observation. Throughout the day, pause periodically to check in with yourself. Ask, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion serving me, or is it holding me back? This practice trains your brain to stay present and attentive, reducing the likelihood of impulsive reactions. 3. Seek feedback from others. Sometimes, we're blind to our own emotional tendencies. Asking trusted friends, family members, or mentors for honest feedback can shed light on areas for improvement. Be open to their observations and use them as opportunities for growth. Real-life example: Sarah's journey to self-awareness. Sarah, a marketing manager, struggled with frequent outbursts of frustration at work. Her team found her unpredictable and difficult to approach, which strained collaboration and morale. Determined to change, Sarah began keeping an emotional journal to track her triggers and reactions. Through this process, she discovered that her frustration often stemmed from perfectionism and fear of failure. Armed with this insight, Sarah started practicing mindfulness techniques to manage her emotions. She also sought feedback from her team, using their input to improve communication and leadership. Over time, Sarah transformed into a calm, empathetic leader who inspired trust and respect. 3.2. Managing negative emotions, turning challenges into opportunities. Once you've developed self-awareness, the next step is learning to manage negative emotions effectively. Unchecked emotions like anger, fear, and sadness can cloud judgment, damage relationships, and hinder personal growth. However, with the right tools, you can channel these emotions into positive outcomes. Why managing negative emotions matters. Negative emotions are natural and serve important functions. For example, fear alerts us to danger, while anger motivates us to address injustice. The problem arises when these emotions spiral out of control, leading to destructive behaviors. As philosopher Aristotle once said, "Anyone can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not easy." Mastering emotional regulation allows you to express emotions constructively rather than impulsively. Techniques for managing negative emotions. Below are proven strategies for transforming negative emotions into sources of strength. 1. Reframe negative thoughts. Cognitive reframing involves shifting your perspective on a situation to reduce its emotional intensity. For example, instead of viewing criticism as an attack, see it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, is this thought true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? How can I view this situation differently? Reframing helps you break free from distorted thinking patterns and fosters resilience. 2. Use the HALT method. The HALT method reminds you to pause and assess your state before reacting. H. Are you hungry? A. Are you angry? L. Are you lonely? T. Are you tired? Addressing these basic needs often reduces emotional intensity and restores balance. 3. Engage in physical activity. Exercise is a powerful antidote to negative emotions. Activities like running, yoga, or dancing release endorphins, which boost mood and reduce stress. Even a short walk can clear your mind and shift your perspective. 4. Practice gratitude. Focusing on what you're thankful for shifts your attention away from negativity and toward positivity. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice the good in every situation. Real-life story: Mark's transformation through emotional regulation. Mark, a software engineer, struggled with chronic anxiety and irritability. His inability to manage stress affected his health, relationships, and career. After hitting rock bottom, Mark decided to seek help and embarked on a journey of self-improvement. He started practicing mindfulness meditation daily, focusing on his breath and observing his thoughts without judgment. He also adopted the HALT method, ensuring he addressed basic needs before reacting to challenges. Additionally, Mark incorporated physical activity into his routine, joining a local hiking group to connect with nature and build friendships. Within months, Mark noticed significant improvements in his mental and emotional well-being. He became more patient, confident, and resilient, earning recognition as a top performer at work. Today, Mark credits emotional regulation as the key to unlocking his full potential. 3.3. Cultivating empathy, understanding and connecting with others' emotions. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. It's what allows us to build meaningful relationships, resolve conflicts, and foster collaboration. While self-awareness and emotional regulation focus on managing your own emotions, empathy shifts the spotlight to understanding others. Why empathy matters. Empathy is more than just being kind or compassionate. It's about truly stepping into someone else's shoes and seeing the world through their eyes. When you empathize with others, you create a sense of trust and safety, which strengthens personal and professional bonds. As Brené Brown, author of Dare to Lead, explains, empathy fuels connection, while judgment creates distance. In a world where misunderstandings and conflicts are common, empathy acts as a bridge, helping us navigate differences with grace and understanding. The 3 types of empathy. Psychologists identify 3 types of empathy, each playing a unique role in human interaction. 1. Cognitive empathy, understanding another person's perspective or mental state. For example, recognizing that a colleague feels overwhelmed because they're juggling multiple deadlines. 2. Emotional empathy, feeling what another person is feeling. For instance, sharing the sadness of a friend who has lost a loved one. 3. Compassionate empathy, taking action to help someone in need. This might involve offering support, advice, or simply being present during difficult times. To cultivate empathy, it's important to develop all 3 types. Below are strategies to help you do so. Strategies for developing empathy. 1. Practice active listening. Active listening involves giving your full attention to the speaker without interrupting or planning your response. Focus on their words, tone, and body language, and reflect back what you hear to ensure understanding. For example, you might say, "It sounds like you're feeling frustrated because you weren't consulted on this decision." Active listening not only validates the other person's feelings but also deepens your understanding of their perspective. 2. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of making assumptions, ask questions that encourage the other person to share more. For instance, instead of saying, "Are you okay?" try asking, "How are you feeling about everything that's been happening?" Open-ended questions invite deeper conversations and demonstrate genuine interest. 3. Challenge your biases. We all have biases, conscious or unconscious, that can cloud our ability to empathize. To overcome them, consciously question your assumptions about others. Ask yourself, am I judging this person based on stereotypes? What might I be missing about their situation? How would I feel if I were in their position? Challenging biases expands your perspective and fosters greater understanding. 4. Engage in perspective-taking exercises. Imagine yourself in someone else's circumstances. For example, if a coworker seems disengaged, consider possible reasons. Are they dealing with personal challenges? Do they feel undervalued? Perspective-taking helps you respond with compassion rather than frustration. Real-life story: the power of empathy in leadership. Let me share the story of Rachel, a team leader at a tech startup, to illustrate the transformative impact of empathy. Rachel noticed that one of her team members, Alex, had become increasingly withdrawn. His performance was slipping, and he seemed disengaged during meetings. Instead of confronting him directly, Rachel decided to approach the situation with empathy. She invited Alex to a one-on-one meeting and asked open-ended questions about how he was feeling. Through active listening, she discovered that Alex was struggling with burnout due to an overwhelming workload. He felt hesitant to speak up because he didn't want to appear incapable. Rachel responded with compassion, offering flexible deadlines and redistributing some of Alex's tasks. She also encouraged him to take breaks and prioritize self-care. Over time, Alex regained his confidence and productivity, crediting Rachel's empathy as the turning point. As Rachel reflects, empathy isn't just about understanding, it's about taking action to support others. That's how you build trust and loyalty. 3.4. Advanced techniques for managing negative emotions. While basic techniques like reframing and mindfulness are effective, there are advanced strategies you can use to manage negative emotions in high-stakes situations. These methods are designed to help you stay calm and composed even under intense pressure. 1. The RAIN technique. The RAIN technique is a mindfulness practice specifically designed to handle challenging emotions. R. Recognize the emotion you're experiencing. A. Allow the emotion to exist without judgment. I. Investigate the emotion by asking, where do I feel it in my body? What thoughts accompany it? And nurture yourself with kindness and compassion. For example, imagine you're feeling overwhelmed during a stressful project. Using RAIN, you might recognize the emotion as anxiety, allow it to be present, investigate its physical sensations, e.g., tightness in your chest, and nurture yourself by reminding yourself that it's okay to feel this way. 2. Emotional labeling. Labeling your emotions reduces their intensity by activating the prefrontal cortex and deactivating the amygdala. Simply naming what you're feeling, whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration, diminishes its power over you. For instance, if you're upset about a missed deadline, say to yourself, "I'm feeling frustrated because I didn't meet my goal." Acknowledging the emotion helps you process it constructively. 3. Visualization for emotional regulation. Visualization is a powerful tool for managing negative emotions. Before entering a potentially triggering situation, such as a difficult conversation or a high-pressure presentation, visualize yourself staying calm and composed. Imagine handling the situation with grace and confidence. Research shows that visualization activates the same neural pathways as actual experience, priming your brain for success. Athletes, performers, and public speakers frequently use this technique to enhance performance and manage nerves. 4. Building a resilience toolkit. Create a personalized toolkit of strategies to help you manage negative emotions effectively. Your toolkit might include a calming mantra such as, "I am capable of handling this," a favorite mindfulness app or guided meditation, a playlist of relaxing music, a journal for processing emotions. Having these resources readily available ensures you're prepared to face any challenge with resilience and poise. 3.5. Applying emotional intelligence in communication and relationships. Emotional intelligence isn't just a theoretical concept, it's a practical skill that can transform the way you communicate and build relationships. Whether in personal or professional settings, EQ enables you to navigate conflicts, foster collaboration, and create lasting connections. The role of EQ in effective communication. Communication is more than exchanging words. It's about understanding emotions, intentions, and unspoken messages. High emotional intelligence enhances your ability to 1. Read nonverbal cues. Much of communication happens through body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. For example, crossed arms might indicate defensiveness, while a soft tone suggests openness. By paying attention to these cues, you can adjust your approach to align with the other person's emotional state. 2. Respond with empathy. When someone shares their feelings or concerns, responding with empathy validates their experience and builds trust. Instead of offering solutions immediately, acknowledge their emotions first. For instance, you might say, "I can see how challenging this must be for you." 3. Navigate difficult conversations. Difficult conversations, whether addressing performance issues at work or discussing relationship challenges, are inevitable. EQ helps you approach these discussions with calmness and clarity. Use techniques like active listening, reframing, and pausing to ensure the conversation remains constructive. Building stronger relationships through EQ. Relationships thrive on mutual understanding, respect, and emotional support. Emotional intelligence strengthens these foundations by helping you connect authentically with others. Below are key strategies for applying EQ in relationships. 1. Validate emotions without judgment. When someone expresses their feelings, avoid dismissing or minimizing them. Instead, validate their emotions by saying, "That sounds really tough," or "I understand why you'd feel that way." Validation creates a safe space for open dialogue. 2. Practice assertive communication. Assertive communication involves expressing your thoughts and feelings honestly while respecting others' perspectives. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted." This approach reduces defensiveness and promotes understanding. 3. Resolve conflicts collaboratively. Conflicts are opportunities for growth when handled with emotional intelligence. Focus on finding solutions that benefit everyone involved rather than assigning blame. Ask questions like, "How can we work together to address this issue?" Real-life story, transforming team dynamics through EQ. Let me share the story of James, a project manager, to illustrate the impact of emotional intelligence on team dynamics. James inherited a team plagued by low morale and frequent conflicts. Team members often criticized each other during meetings, leading to tension and inefficiency. Determined to turn things around, James focused on fostering emotional intelligence within the group. He started by modeling empathetic leadership. During one-on-one meetings, he asked team members about their challenges and aspirations, demonstrating genuine interest in their well-being. He also introduced team-building exercises designed to enhance communication and collaboration. One pivotal moment occurred during a heated discussion about resource allocation. Instead of letting the conversation escalate, James paused and reminded the team of their shared goals. He encouraged everyone to express their concerns openly and work together to find compromises. Over time, the team's dynamic improved dramatically. Members began supporting each other, resolving conflicts constructively, and celebrating collective successes. Today, James credits emotional intelligence as the driving force behind his team's transformation. As he reflects, EQ isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. When you prioritize understanding and connection, amazing things happen. 3.6. The long-term benefits of mastering emotional intelligence. Investing in emotional intelligence yields profound long-term benefits, both personally and professionally. Below are some of the most significant advantages. 1. Improved mental health. EQ helps you manage stress, anxiety, and negative emotions effectively, promoting mental well-being. By developing resilience and self-awareness, you become better equipped to handle life's challenges. 2. Enhanced career success. Research shows that emotional intelligence is a stronger predictor of career success than IQ. Individuals with high EQ excel in leadership, teamwork, and decision-making, earning recognition and advancement opportunities. 3. Stronger personal relationships. EQ fosters deeper connections by enabling you to communicate empathetically, resolve conflicts peacefully, and nurture meaningful bonds. Whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, emotional intelligence strengthens the fabric of relationships. 4. Greater life satisfaction. When you master EQ, you gain greater control over your emotions and interactions, leading to a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. You're able to pursue goals with clarity, build supportive networks, and contribute positively to society. 3.7. Final reflections and action steps. As we conclude this chapter, I want to leave you with a few final reflections and action steps to carry forward. 1. Commit to lifelong learning. Emotional intelligence isn't a destination, it's a journey. Continuously seek opportunities to deepen your understanding of yourself and others. Read books, attend workshops, and practice mindfulness regularly. 2. Start small, think big. Begin by incorporating simple EQ practices into your daily routine, such as active listening or gratitude journaling. Over time, these small efforts will compound into significant growth. 3. Be patient with yourself. Developing emotional intelligence takes time and effort. Celebrate progress, no matter how incremental, and forgive yourself for setbacks. Remember, every step counts. 4. Inspire others. Share your journey with friends, family, or colleagues. Encourage them to explore emotional intelligence and support each other's growth. Together, you can create a ripple effect of positive change. Conclusion of Chapter 3. In this chapter, we've explored the transformative power of emotional intelligence, from understanding and managing your own emotions to empathizing with others and building strong relationships. By mastering EQ, you unlock the potential to live a life of purpose, connection, and fulfillment. As we move forward, carry these insights with you. Practice self-awareness, regulate your emotions, and approach others with empathy. In the next chapter, we'll delve into effective communication strategies that complement emotional intelligence, empowering you to navigate any situation with wisdom and grace. Chapter 4: Effective Communication, the Art of Communicating Without Reacting. In this chapter, we'll explore the critical role of effective communication in mastering emotional intelligence and building meaningful relationships. Communication is the bridge that connects us to others, yet it's often undermined by impulsive reactions, misunderstandings, and unspoken emotions. Effective communication isn't just about speaking clearly, it's about listening deeply, responding thoughtfully, and fostering mutual understanding. By learning to communicate without reacting, you can resolve conflicts, strengthen connections, and create a positive impact in every interaction. In this chapter, we'll delve into the principles of effective communication, provide practical strategies for improving your skills, and share inspiring stories of individuals who have transformed their lives through mindful communication. Let's begin. 4.1. The Principles of Effective Communication. Before diving into specific techniques, let's establish the foundational principles that underpin effective communication. These principles serve as guidelines for navigating conversations with clarity, empathy, and intention. 1. Focus on solutions, not blame. One of the most common pitfalls in communication is focusing on assigning blame rather than finding solutions. When conflicts arise, it's easy to point fingers and dwell on past mistakes. However, this approach only escalates tension and hinders progress. Instead, shift your focus to collaborative problem solving. Ask questions like, what can we do to prevent this issue from happening again? How can we work together to achieve our goals? This mindset fosters teamwork and encourages constructive dialogue. 2. Use I statements instead of you statements. The way you phrase your words can significantly impact how they're received. Using you statements, such as, "You always interrupt me," often comes across as accusatory and triggers defensiveness. On the other hand, I statements express your feelings and experiences without blaming others. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted." This approach reduces conflict and promotes understanding. 3. Practice active listening. Active listening is the cornerstone of effective communication. It involves giving your full attention to the speaker, acknowledging their feelings, and reflecting back what you hear to ensure understanding. For instance, if a colleague shares concerns about a project, you might respond with, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed because of the tight deadline. Is that correct?" Active listening validates the other person's experience and builds trust. 4. Maintain respect and positivity. Even in challenging conversations, maintaining respect and positivity is essential. Avoid using harsh language, sarcasm, or dismissive tones, as these can damage relationships and escalate conflicts. Instead, adopt a tone of curiosity and openness. For example, instead of saying, "That's a terrible idea," try saying, "Can you help me understand your perspective better?" This approach invites collaboration and reduces resistance. 4.2. Handling conflict with emotional intelligence. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction, but it doesn't have to be destructive. With emotional intelligence and effective communication skills, you can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. Why conflicts arise? Conflicts often stem from miscommunication, differing perspectives, or unmet expectations. For example, a team member might feel frustrated because their contributions aren't being recognized, while a manager might assume they're disengaged. Understanding the root cause of a conflict is the first step toward resolving it. Ask yourself, what are the underlying emotions driving this conflict? Are there any assumptions or misunderstandings that need to be addressed? What outcome would benefit everyone involved? Strategies for resolving conflicts effectively. Below are proven strategies for handling conflicts with emotional intelligence. 1. Pause before responding. When tensions run high, pausing before responding gives you time to process emotions and choose your words carefully. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, will my response de-escalate the situation or make it worse? 2. Acknowledge emotions. Validating the other person's feelings is crucial for diffusing tension. For example, you might say, "I understand why you'd feel upset about this decision." Acknowledgement doesn't mean agreement, it simply shows respect for their perspective. 3. Seek common ground. Look for areas of agreement to build momentum toward resolution. For instance, if two colleagues disagree on a project approach, they might agree on the shared goal of delivering high-quality results. 4. Collaborate on solutions. Involve all parties in brainstorming solutions that address everyone's needs. Ask questions like, what changes would improve the situation for you? How can we implement these changes effectively? Collaboration ensures buy-in and strengthens relationships. Real-life story, turning conflict into collaboration. Let me share the story of Emily, a team leader at a marketing agency, to illustrate the power of effective conflict resolution. Emily noticed growing tension between two team members, Sarah and John, over creative differences on a campaign. Their disagreements had escalated into heated arguments, disrupting workflow and morale. Determined to restore harmony, Emily facilitated a meeting to address the issue. She began by setting ground rules for respectful communication and encouraged both parties to express their perspectives openly. Using active listening, Emily acknowledged their frustrations and highlighted their shared commitment to the project's success. Together, the team brainstormed a compromise that incorporated elements from both Sarah's and John's ideas. By focusing on collaboration rather than competition, they not only resolved the conflict but also strengthened their working relationship. As Emily reflects, conflict isn't the enemy, it's how we handle it that matters. When approached with empathy and intention, even the toughest challenges can lead to growth. 4.3. Advanced strategies for communicating without reacting. While foundational principles like active listening and I statements are essential, mastering effective communication requires advanced strategies to handle high-stakes situations with grace and wisdom. Below are techniques designed to help you stay calm, composed, and intentional in even the most challenging interactions. 1. The Feel, Felt, Found method. The Feel, Felt, Found method is a powerful tool for addressing concerns or objections without triggering defensiveness. Here's how it works. Feel. Acknowledge the other person's emotions. For example, I understand how you feel about this situation. Felt. Share a relatable experience. For instance, others in your position have felt the same way. Found. Offer a solution or perspective. For example, what they found helpful was approaching it this way. This method validates the other person's feelings while gently guiding them toward a constructive resolution. 2. The power of silence. Silence is one of the most underutilized tools in communication. When used intentionally, silence creates space for reflection, reduces emotional intensity, and encourages others to share more openly. For example, imagine you're in a negotiation and the other party makes an unreasonable demand. Instead of reacting defensively, pause and remain silent. This forces them to reconsider their stance and opens the door for further discussion. As leadership expert Simon Sinek explains, silence gives people time to think and respond thoughtfully. Embrace silence as a strategic ally in your conversations. 3. Reframe criticism into constructive feedback. Criticism often triggers defensive reactions, but reframing it as constructive feedback can transform its impact. Instead of saying, "Your report is incomplete," try saying, "This report would be stronger if we included more data on X." Reframing focuses on improvement rather than fault-finding, fostering a growth mindset and encouraging collaboration. 4. Practice nonviolent communication, NVC. Nonviolent communication, NVC, developed by psychologist Marshall Rosenberg, is a framework for expressing needs and resolving conflicts peacefully. NVC involves 4 steps. 1. Observe, describe the situation objectively without judgment. 2. Feel, share your emotions related to the observation. 3. Need, identify the underlying need driving your emotions. 4. Request, make a specific, actionable request to address the need. For example, instead of saying, "You never helped me with the housework," you might say, "When I see dishes piling up, I feel overwhelmed because I need support. Would you be willing to help me clean up after dinner?" NVC promotes empathy, clarity, and mutual understanding, making it an invaluable tool for effective communication. 4.4. Real-life examples of effective communication in action. To illustrate the transformative power of effective communication, let's explore 2 additional real-life stories that highlight its application in personal and professional settings. Story 1. Bridging generational gaps in the workplace. Michael, a seasoned manager at a tech company, faced challenges bridging the gap between older and younger employees. Younger team members often felt dismissed when proposing innovative ideas, while older colleagues struggled to adapt to new technologies. Determined to foster collaboration, Michael organized a workshop focused on effective communication. He encouraged participants to share their perspectives openly and practice active listening. Using the feel, felt, found method, he helped each group understand the other's concerns and find common ground. For example, when a younger employee expressed frustration about resistance to change, Michael responded, "I understand how you feel about wanting to innovate. Others in your position have felt the same way." What they found helpful was presenting data to show the benefits of new approaches. Over time, the team developed a culture of mutual respect and innovation, leading to improved performance and morale. Story 2. Healing family relationships through mindful communication. Lisa, a mother of 2 teenagers, struggled with frequent arguments over screen time and grades. Her attempts to enforce rules often ended in shouting matches, leaving everyone feeling frustrated and disconnected. Inspired by nonviolent communication, Lisa decided to approach the situation differently. During a family meeting, she shared her observations, feelings, and needs without blaming her children. For example, she said, "When I see you spending hours on your phone, I feel worried because I need to ensure you're balancing responsibilities and leisure." She then made a specific request. "Would you be willing to agree on a schedule for screen time and homework?" By framing the conversation around mutual needs, Lisa created a safe space for dialogue and compromise. The result? Her children became more cooperative, and family relationships improved significantly. As Lisa reflects, "Mindful communication transformed our home from a battleground into a place of understanding and connection." 4.5. Overcoming barriers to effective communication. Even with the best intentions, several barriers can hinder effective communication. Below are common obstacles and strategies to overcome them. 1. Emotional hijacking. Emotional hijacking occurs when strong emotions override rational thinking, leading to impulsive reactions. To prevent this, practice mindfulness techniques like deep breathing or visualization before engaging in difficult conversations. 2. Cultural differences. Cultural differences can lead to misunderstandings in communication styles, body language, and expectations. Educate yourself about other cultures' norms and adapt your approach accordingly. For example, in some cultures, direct criticism may be seen as disrespectful, so framing feedback diplomatically is crucial. 3. Assumptions and misinterpretations. Assumptions often lead to miscommunication. To avoid this, clarify information by asking open-ended questions and paraphrasing what you hear. For example, "Just to confirm, did you mean X when you said Y?" 4. Technology overload. In today's digital age, over-reliance on emails and texts can strip communication of nuance and emotion. Whenever possible, opt for face-to-face or video conversations to ensure clarity and connection. 4.6. The long-term benefits of effective communication. Mastering the art of effective communication yields profound long-term benefits, both personally and professionally. Below are some of the most significant advantages. 1. Stronger relationships. Effective communication fosters trust, empathy, and mutual understanding, strengthening bonds with family, friends, colleagues, and clients. Whether resolving conflicts or celebrating successes, clear and thoughtful communication deepens connections. 2. Enhance career success. Individuals who communicate effectively are more likely to excel in leadership roles, teamwork, and client interactions. They inspire confidence, build consensus, and drive results, earning recognition and advancement opportunities. 3. Improved mental health. By expressing emotions constructively and addressing issues openly, you reduce stress, anxiety, and frustration. Effective communication promotes emotional well-being and resilience. 4. Greater influence and impact. When you communicate with clarity, authenticity, and intention, you become a more persuasive and influential presence. Your words carry weight, inspiring others to take action and embrace change. 4.7. Key takeaways from this chapter. As we reflect on the insights shared in this chapter, here are the key lessons to remember. 1. Focus on solutions, not blame. Shift your mindset from assigning fault to finding collaborative solutions. This approach fosters teamwork and reduces resistance. 2. Use I statements. Express your feelings and experiences without blaming others, creating a safe space for dialogue. 3. Practice active listening. Give your full attention, validate emotions, and reflect back what you hear to ensure understanding. 4. Pause before reacting. Create space between stimulus and response to choose your words wisely and avoid escalating conflicts. 5. Leverage advanced techniques. Use tools like the feel, felt, found method, silence, and nonviolent communication to navigate challenging conversations effectively. 6. Overcome barriers. Address obstacles like emotional hijacking, cultural differences, and assumptions to ensure clear and meaningful communication. 4.8. Inspiring quotes to reinforce effective communication. To leave you inspired, here are some timeless quotes about the power of communication. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. George Bernard Shaw. Communication works for those who work at it. John Powell. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Mother Teresa. The art of communication is the language of leadership. James Humes. These words remind us that effective communication is both an art and a skill, one that requires practice, patience, and intention. 4.9. Action steps to apply what you've learned. Now that you've gained valuable insights into effective communication, it's time to put them into action. Here are practical steps to help you integrate these principles into your daily life. 1. Commit to daily practice. Start small by incorporating one new communication technique each day, such as active listening or using I statements. 2. Reflect on conversations. After important discussions, take a moment to evaluate what went well and what could be improved. Use this reflection to refine your skills. 3. Seek feedback. Ask trusted friends, family members, or colleagues for feedback on your communication style. Be open to constructive criticism and use it to grow. 4. Invest in learning. Read books, attend workshops, or enroll in courses on communication and emotional intelligence to deepen your knowledge. 5. Model mindful communication. Lead by example in your interactions, demonstrating empathy, respect, and intentionality. Inspire others to adopt similar practices. Conclusion of Chapter 4. In this chapter, we've explored the transformative power of effective communication, from mastering foundational principles to applying advanced strategies in real-life situations. By learning to communicate without reacting, you unlock the ability to resolve conflicts, build stronger relationships, and create positive change in every interaction. As we move forward, carry these insights with you. Practice active listening, respond with empathy, and approach every conversation with intention. In the next chapter, we'll delve into the art of building resilience, a crucial skill for managing challenges and thriving in adversity. Chapter 5: Building Resilience, Strengthening Your Emotional Endurance. In this chapter, we'll explore the concept of resilience, the ability to withstand adversity, recover from setbacks, and thrive in the face of challenges. Resilience is not just about bouncing back, it's about growing stronger through life's difficulties. In today's fast-paced and unpredictable world, resilience is more important than ever. It empowers you to manage stress, maintain focus, and stay committed to your goals, even when circumstances seem overwhelming. By building resilience, you create a foundation for emotional strength, mental clarity, and long-term success. In this chapter, we'll delve into the science of resilience, provide practical strategies for strengthening it, and share inspiring stories of individuals who have overcome adversity through resilience. Let's begin. 5.1. Understanding resilience, the science behind emotional strength. Resilience is often described as the ability to adapt and thrive despite challenges, trauma, or significant stress. But what exactly happens in our brains and bodies when we cultivate resilience? Understanding the science behind resilience can help us harness its power more effectively. The role of the brain in resilience. Resilience is closely tied to the functioning of two key areas of the brain, the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala, responsible for processing emotions like fear and anger, often triggers the fight or flight response during stressful situations. However, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking and decision-making, can override these automatic reactions. When you practice resilience, you strengthen the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. This allows you to regulate emotions, think clearly under pressure, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Research shows that resilience is not a fixed trait. It can be developed through intentional practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and cognitive reframing. These activities promote neuroplasticity, enabling your brain to rewire itself for greater emotional endurance. The role of hormones in resilience. Hormones also play a crucial role in resilience. For example, cortisol, often referred to as the stress hormone, is released during challenging situations. While short bursts of cortisol can enhance focus and energy, chronic exposure to high cortisol levels can weaken resilience by impairing memory, increasing anxiety, and reducing immune function. On the other hand, oxytocin, the bonding hormone, promotes feelings of trust, connection, and calmness. Activities like hugging loved ones, practicing gratitude, and engaging in acts of kindness boost oxytocin levels, enhancing your ability to cope with stress. As psychologist Dr. Martin Seligman explains, resilience is not about avoiding stress but about learning to thrive in its presence. By understanding the biological mechanisms behind resilience, you can take proactive steps to build it. 5.2. The benefits of resilience in everyday life. Building resilience offers numerous benefits that extend beyond managing stress. Below are some of the most significant advantages. 1. Improved mental health. Resilient individuals are better equipped to handle anxiety, depression, and burnout. By developing coping mechanisms and maintaining a positive outlook, they reduce the risk of mental health challenges. 2. Enhanced problem-solving skills. Resilience fosters creativity and adaptability, enabling you to approach problems with flexibility and resourcefulness. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you view challenges as opportunities for growth. 3. Stronger relationships. Resilient people are more empathetic, patient, and supportive in their relationships. They navigate conflicts constructively and inspire others to persevere through difficulties. 4. Greater career success. In professional settings, resilience helps you stay focused, motivated, and productive, even during high-pressure periods. Employers value resilient employees for their ability to lead teams, meet deadlines, and innovate under stress. 5. Increased life satisfaction. By embracing challenges as stepping stones to growth, resilient individuals experience greater fulfillment and purpose. They cultivate a sense of agency and optimism, empowering them to live life on their terms. 5.3. Strategies for building resilience. Now that we've explored the science and benefits of resilience, let's discuss practical strategies for strengthening it. Below are proven techniques to help you develop emotional endurance and thrive in adversity. 1. Cultivate a growth mindset. A growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning, is foundational to resilience. People with a growth mindset view failures as opportunities to learn rather than as reflections of their worth. To cultivate a growth mindset, reframe setbacks as lessons. For example, instead of saying, "I failed," try saying, "This experience taught me X." Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Recognize that every step forward contributes to your growth. Surround yourself with supportive, growth-oriented individuals who encourage you to persevere. 2. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, fostering positivity and resilience. Studies show that practicing gratitude reduces stress, improves sleep, and enhances overall well-being. To incorporate gratitude into your routine, keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Express appreciation to others regularly, whether through words, notes, or small gestures. Reflect on past challenges and identify silver linings or lessons learned. 3. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. Healthy coping mechanisms are essential for managing stress and building resilience. Below are examples of effective strategies. Physical activity. Exercise releases endorphins, which boost mood and reduce stress. Activities like yoga, running, or dancing are particularly beneficial. Mindfulness practices. Meditation, deep breathing, and visualization help calm the nervous system and promote clarity. Creative outlets. Engaging in hobbies like painting, writing, or playing music provides an emotional release and fosters self-expression. 4. Build a support network. Strong social connections are a cornerstone of resilience. Having trusted friends, family members, or mentors to lean on during tough times provides emotional support, practical advice, and encouragement. To strengthen your support network, reach out to loved ones regularly, even if it's just to check in. Join communities or groups aligned with your interests or values. Offer support to others, as helping others strengthens your own resilience. 5. Set realistic goals and prioritize self-care. Setting realistic goals gives you a sense of purpose and direction, while prioritizing self-care ensures you have the energy and resources to pursue them. To balance goal setting and self-care, break large goals into smaller, manageable steps to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Schedule time for rest, relaxation, and activities that recharge you. Practice saying no to commitments that drain your energy or detract from your priorities. 5.4. Real-life stories of resilience. To illustrate the transformative power of resilience, let's explore 2 inspiring stories of individuals who overcame adversity through perseverance and strength. Story 1. Overcoming adversity through resilience. Let me share the story of James, a young entrepreneur whose business faced near collapse during the pandemic. James had poured his savings into launching a startup, only to see demand plummet as lockdowns disrupted the economy. Faced with mounting debt and dwindling resources, he felt defeated and unsure of how to move forward. Instead of giving up, James decided to focus on what he could control. He reached out to mentors for guidance, pivoted his business model to meet changing customer needs, and adopted daily mindfulness practices to manage stress. Slowly but surely, his efforts paid off. His revised strategy resonated with clients, and his business began to recover. Today, James credits resilience as the key to his survival and success. As he reflects, resilience isn't about never falling, it's about getting back up every time you do. Story 2. Turning tragedy into triumph. Sarah's story is another testament to the power of resilience. After losing her home in a devastating fire, she found herself struggling to rebuild her life. With no possessions and limited financial resources, the road ahead seemed insurmountable. Determined to persevere, Sarah leaned on her support network, sought assistance from local charities, and maintained a positive outlook despite the challenges. She also started volunteering at a community center, finding purpose in helping others facing similar hardships. Over time, Sarah rebuilt her life, not just materially but emotionally. She emerged stronger, more compassionate, and deeply grateful for the lessons she had learned. As Sarah shares, adversity doesn't define you, how you respond to it does. Resilience is the bridge between hardship and hope. 5.5. Advanced strategies for strengthening resilience. While foundational practices like gratitude and mindfulness are essential, there are advanced strategies you can employ to further enhance your resilience. These techniques are designed to help you navigate even the most challenging situations with grace and determination. 1. Practice cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing involves shifting your perspective on a situation to reduce its emotional intensity. For example, instead of viewing a failure as a reflection of your abilities, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what can I take away from this experience? How can I use this setback to improve in the future? What strengths did I demonstrate during this challenge? Reframing helps you break free from negative thought patterns and fosters a sense of empowerment. 2. Develop emotional agility. Emotional agility is the ability to navigate your emotions with curiosity, compassion, and courage. It involves acknowledging your feelings without judgment and choosing responses that align with your values. To cultivate emotional agility. Label your emotions accurately, e.g., I'm feeling frustrated because. Accept your emotions as natural and temporary rather than trying to suppress them. Take action based on your values rather than being driven by fear or discomfort. As psychologist Susan David explains, emotional agility is the cornerstone of resilience. It allows you to face life's challenges with authenticity and purpose. 3. Embrace discomfort as growth. Resilience thrives when you step outside your comfort zone. By embracing discomfort, you build confidence in your ability to handle uncertainty and adversity. For example, if public speaking makes you nervous, commit to giving small presentations regularly. Each time you face your fear, you strengthen your resilience and expand your comfort zone. 4. Build a resilience toolkit. Create a personalized toolkit of strategies to help you manage stress and adversity effectively. Your toolkit might include a calming mantra such as, "This too shall pass," a favorite mindfulness app or guided meditation, a playlist of uplifting music, a journal for processing emotions. Having these resources readily available ensures you're prepared to face any challenge with resilience and poise. 5.6. The role of positive thinking in resilience. Positive thinking plays a crucial role in building resilience. While optimism alone won't solve all your problems, it creates a mindset that empowers you to persevere through difficulties. Below are ways to harness the power of positive thinking. 1. Focus on solutions, not problems. When faced with a challenge, shift your focus from what's wrong to what can be done. For example, instead of dwelling on financial setbacks, brainstorm ways to increase income or reduce expenses. 2. Visualize success. Visualization is a powerful tool for fostering resilience. Before tackling a difficult task, imagine yourself succeeding. Picture the steps you'll take, the obstacles you'll overcome, and the sense of accomplishment you'll feel. Research shows that visualization activates the same neural pathways as actual experience, priming your brain for success. Athletes, performers, and leaders frequently use this technique to enhance performance and manage nerves. 3. Surround yourself with positivity. The people and environments you surround yourself with significantly impact your mindset. Spend time with individuals who uplift and inspire you, and limit exposure to negativity, whether from toxic relationships or pessimistic media. 4. Practice self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with kindness and understanding during tough times. Instead of criticizing yourself for mistakes, acknowledge your humanity and remind yourself that everyone faces challenges. As Dr. Kristen Neff, a leading expert on self-compassion, explains, self-compassion provides a buffer against stress and enhances resilience by fostering emotional well-being. 5.7. Overcoming common barriers to resilience. Even with the best intentions, several barriers can hinder resilience. Below are common obstacles and strategies to overcome them. 1. Fear of failure. Fear of failure often prevents people from taking risks or pursuing goals. To overcome this, reframe failure as a stepping stone to success. Remind yourself that every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. 2. Perfectionism. Perfectionism can paralyze progress and erode resilience. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for progress. Celebrate small wins and recognize that imperfection is part of the human experience. 3. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk undermines confidence and resilience. Challenge unhelpful thoughts by asking, is this thought true? What evidence supports or contradicts it? How would I advise a friend in this situation? 4. Lack of boundaries. Failing to set boundaries can lead to burnout and diminished resilience. Learn to say no to commitments that drain your energy or detract from your priorities. Protect your time and energy for activities that nourish you. 5.8. Real-life example. Resilience in action. Let me share one final story to illustrate the transformative power of resilience. This is the true account of Maria, a single mother who overcame immense challenges to create a better life for herself and her children. Maria lost her job during an economic downturn, leaving her struggling to make ends meet. With limited savings and mounting bills, she felt overwhelmed and uncertain about the future. Instead of succumbing to despair, Maria took proactive steps to rebuild her life. She enrolled in online courses to upskill, sought financial assistance from community organizations, and leaned on her support network for encouragement. Through sheer determination and resilience, Maria secured a new job, completed her education, and became a role model for her children. Today, she credits resilience as the foundation of her success. As Maria reflects, resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about finding strength in the midst of it. Every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger and wiser. 5.9. Final Reflections and Action Steps. As we conclude this chapter, I want to leave you with a few final reflections and action steps to carry forward. 1. Commit to lifelong growth. Resilience is a skill that evolves over time. Continuously seek opportunities to strengthen it through learning, practice, and reflection. 2. Start small, think big. Begin by incorporating one resilience-building practice into your daily routine, such as gratitude journaling or mindfulness meditation. Over time, these small efforts will compound into significant growth. 3. Be patient with yourself. Building resilience takes time and effort. Celebrate progress, no matter how incremental, and forgive yourself for setbacks. Remember, every step counts. 4. Inspire others. Share your journey with friends, family, or colleagues. Encourage them to explore resilience and support each other's growth. Together, you can create a ripple effect of positive change. Conclusion of Chapter 5. In this chapter, we've explored the transformative power of resilience, from understanding its science to applying practical strategies in real-life situations. By building resilience, you unlock the ability to navigate challenges, recover from setbacks, and thrive in adversity. As we move forward, carry these insights with you. Practice gratitude, embrace discomfort, and approach every challenge with courage and determination. In the next chapter, we'll bring together all the lessons learned throughout this audiobook and provide a roadmap for integrating them into your daily life. Audiobook Conclusion. We've reached the final chapter of The Power of Not Reacting. Before we part ways, let's take a moment to reflect on the key lessons we've explored throughout this journey. 1. Understanding emotional reactions. We learned that our reactions are driven by the interplay between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. By understanding this science, we can create space between stimulus and response, allowing us to act with intention rather than impulse. 2. The power of pause. Pausing before reacting is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices you can adopt. It gives you time to breathe, reflect, and choose responses that align with your values and goals. 3. Mastering emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence empowers you to understand and manage your emotions, empathize with others, and build stronger relationships. By cultivating self-awareness, empathy, and emotional regulation, you unlock the potential to thrive in every interaction. 4. Effective communication. Communication is the bridge that connects us to others. By focusing on solutions, practicing active listening, and reframing criticism into constructive feedback, you can resolve conflicts, foster collaboration, and inspire trust. 5. Building resilience. Resilience is the foundation for enduring life's challenges and emerging stronger. By cultivating a growth mindset, practicing gratitude, and embracing discomfort, you develop the emotional endurance needed to thrive in adversity. These lessons form the cornerstone of the power of not reacting. Together they equip you with the tools to manage your emotions, communicate effectively, and navigate life's complexities with wisdom and grace. Now that you've gained these insights, it's time to put them into action. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey of small, consistent steps. Here's how you can begin. 1. Start small. Choose one practice from this audiobook, whether it's pausing before reacting, journaling your emotions, or expressing gratitude, and commit to it daily. Over time, these small habits will compound into profound change. 2. Be patient with yourself. Growth is rarely linear. There will be days when you stumble, and that's okay. What matters is your willingness to get back up and keep moving forward. 3. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge every step you take, no matter how small. Celebrating progress reinforces your commitment and motivates you to continue. 4. Inspire others. Share what you've learned with friends, family, or colleagues. Encourage them to join you on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Together, you can create a ripple effect of positive change. As you apply these lessons, remember the words of Mahatma Gandhi. The future depends on what you do today. Every choice you make shapes the person you become. By choosing to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, you're not just transforming yourself, you're creating a better world for those around you. Before we conclude, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, our listener. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the power of not reacting. Your presence here is a testament to your desire for growth, connection, and transformation. At Wisdom Audiobooks, our mission is to empower you with knowledge and tools that enhance your life. If you've found value in this audiobook, I encourage you to 1. Like and share this audiobook. Help us reach more people by liking and sharing this content with your network. Your support means the world to us. 2. Subscribe to our channel. Stay connected by subscribing to Wisdom Audiobooks. We regularly release new content designed to inspire, educate, and uplift. 3. Leave a comment. Let us know how this audiobook has impacted you. Your feedback inspires us to continue creating meaningful content. Finally, remember that the journey doesn't end here. Life is a continuous process of learning and evolving. As you move forward, carry these lessons with you. Practice them daily, share them generously, and watch as they transform your life and the lives of those around you. Thank you once again for being part of this incredible journey. Until next time, stay calm, stay wise, and always remember, your wisdom journey starts here.